Oh, I'm back again. Here we go. Been away for a week. Seems forever. BOBCAST number 99. And it's the 5th of July. It's really nice to be here with you. And Sunday night, I'm returning with a lot more hair. It seems to have grown even more in the last week, but not long until I get it trimmed. And it's nice to be here. Really good, really good. I hope you've been okay. I've missed you. And it was a bit odd to have the week off, but I just knew I needed some space because a lot of stuff's been happening this week. I was on a conference, a selection conference. I wasn't on it, I was one of the selectors. And it was a conference to see whether to select people who've put themselves forward, allowed themselves to be put forward to train as priests or deacons within the Scottish Episcopal Church. It's quite an ordeal. I mean, I did go through it 27 years ago actually, and it hasn't changed much. So it starts 9 o'clock on the Wednesday morning. Started for me on Tuesday night with a staff meeting, and it went on really without a break until lunchtime on Friday. So started at 9 in the morning, finished about 9 at night, a bit of a break in between. And we were doing it all on Zoom, and also a thing called Big Blue Button. So exciting. Anyhow, so that's why I had the week off. All sorts of other exciting things happened. My wife told me to take a spider out instead of killing it a couple of nights ago. Anyhow, we went out, we've had a couple of drinks. Spider's a really nice guy, he's a web designer. I knew you'd like that. I just knew that would make you look up, but that's not true actually. I've also been looking at some new business opportunities because I feel it's quite important to be able to do that. So a couple of friends and I are opening a chiropractor business. We're calling it the Back Straight Boys. Oh, that's a bit trendy, isn't it? Wearing my dog collar today. Been working most of the day. Had quite a lot of things to do and open church this afternoon, which was great. 21 people came, and that was really nice. I was going to tell you a yoga stretch, exactly. That's why I didn't tell you. I was going to tell you a yoga joke, but I couldn't stretch myself to do it. Yeah, I know. I'm out of practice of telling the old jokes. So there we go. Anyhow, what else has been going on? Well, since we last met, I've celebrated an anniversary of 25 years of being a priest. I was ordained deacon 26 years ago in 1994. And then at the beginning of July, I was ordained a priest in Hereford Cathedral. I'm saying the beginning of July because we're not quite sure of the date. I thought it was the 3rd or possibly the 4th, but it may have been the 2nd. So we're sort of settling around that. I think probably last Thursday, because a lot of my friends and colleagues put up their anniversary dates last Thursday. I celebrated mine on Friday. So there we are. I mean, it's quite a celebration because of lockdown. But anyhow, to all of you who sent me nice messages on Facebook and cards and prezzies and that type of thing, thank you very, very much indeed. But it's been great celebrating being a priest because you just get those moments. And one of the things, of course, that we're called to do is to encourage people as we go on through our journey. And 20 odd years ago, I encouraged a young man. He was a farmer and he was a friend of our son. And tonight he was on Countryfile. Some of you may have seen this. If you haven't, go onto iPlayer and have a look. A guy called David Gwatkin, and he was talking about mental health. So Adam went up to Tib Hall, which is his farm in Herefordshire, where David is a 7th generation farmer. And I had the privilege of conducting David's wedding. Some was his best man and known him. One of the first times I remember him coming to our house, he had come to our village of Webley and he got off the bus, he went to the local shop and he bought a Swiss roll. You know, the sort of Swiss rolls that you buy. He just unwrapped it and he ate it like a stick of rock. And he walked in eating this huge Swiss roll, jam and cream and things like that. And he's as skinny as a rake. Nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Anyhow, he was on tonight talking about mental health and farming because he's the agricultural chaplain for Herefordshire. And I remember walking the path with him and lots of other people. So David, you probably don't watch this because you're far too important. Now you're a TV star. But if you do, then I'm really proud. The other thing I was really proud about is that he was wearing the same type of gilet, or gillet, whatever you want to call it, as I am. And but he's wearing the brown one. Now I looked at the brown one and I gave that quite a lot of thought, but I decided to reject it. I just didn't feel it went. I thought the blue navy with the little leather bits was better. I'm open to your discussion, whatever you think. Brown, green, they're all available, I'm sure. I'm not trying to sell them unless you want to buy them. And if you're willing to pay £350 each, I will organise them. You send me the money and I'll get you one of these to almost any colour you like for 350 quid. Send it to me. Or alternatively, you can go on the website, you'll get them for a lot less than that. A lot less than that. Huge amount less than that. So, I tell you, here's an interesting thought. If a priest blesses an avocado, would it be holy guacamole? Holy guacamole, as Robin said to Batman, as he stamped on the avocado. So 25 years as a priest, and one of the things I want to say, because a lot of people are watching BOBCAST these days, and I want to say thank you to you, because many of you, and a few in particular, have really shaped my ministry, and you've taught me so much, and I really appreciate it, because the thing about being a priest or a minister or a vicar or a rector or a pain in the backside, whatever you want to call us, is that we're constantly interacting with people and we're trying to find God in all sorts of different situations. But we learn as much from the people with whom we walk alongside as they would ever get from us. And some people have taught me really, really powerful stuff over the years. So thank you so very much, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you, and other people wouldn't have benefited. So I don't want all sorts of compliments, all sorts of funny things, and people sending, "Oh, thank you, Rob, it's really good." Why don't you just send a donation to Mind? That'd be a great thing to do. Thank you, or any other mental health trust. So it's been an interesting time. This conference was good. Stereo screen was powerful. I did get some spare time, and I was thinking of selling a lot of my John Lennon memorabilia on eBay. Imagine all the PayPal. I did like that. That is very good. That is very good. That's the one that made me laugh. That is the one that made me laugh. And actually, that's the one I was going to tell you at the very end, which is a little bit of a blow, because it means I don't actually have a joke to tell you at the end anymore. But I do have quite an amusing little story that I thought I would share with you, and it's this: a Scotsman wearing a kilt and a tam o' shanter walked into the Strand London office of Coutts. Now, of course, Coutts are the major bankers. I think they're part of NatWest now, but they were big private bankers on the Strand, not far from the station that's there. And I can't remember the name of the station, don't you? It's not King's Cross, and it's not Euston, and anyhow, it's one of them. And next to the station, by the way, was what used to be the fastest McDonald's, really fast McDonald's, where you went in, boom, boom, then you ran off to get your train. Anyhow, so a Scotsman wearing a kilt and a tam o' shanter walked into Coutts, who are also the Queen's bankers. Queen's bankers is the word you were looking for there. Anyhow, he asked to speak to the manager, and he said to the manager that he's going abroad on business for 2 weeks and would like to borrow £5,000. the manager tells him that Coots and Company would be delighted to meet his requirements, but that the gentleman should understand that because he wasn't already a customer, or a client as they call them, of Coots, they would need some modest security for the loan. So the Scotsman thought for a moment, then he opened his sporran, because of course he's wearing a kilt, and he takes out the keys and the documents of a brand new Ferrari. And he hands them over. And he said, the Ferrari is parked just in front of the bank. He said, will this do? He also produces the car's logbook. And after a phone call, everything checks out fine. They checked it with DVLA. And the manager agrees to accept the car as collateral for the loan of £5,000 for 2 weeks. The cashier hands out the money, and of course in Coots they probably hand it out in that sort of old-fashioned way of £5, £10, £15, 20. Handed over the money, and the Scotsman went away. One of the sort of flunkies at the door takes the Ferrari and drives it into Coots' underground car park and parks it. Anyhow, over lunch, the manager was telling a lot of his friends about what's it like. He said, I was given £130,000 worth of collateral by this Scots person for a £5,000 loan. They were all chuckling away as they sipped their port and all those other things, ate their cheese, and as bankers do, or did. Anyhow, a couple of weeks later, the Scotsman appears, looking very suntanned, and he says, could I please have my car back? And they said, yes, of course, no problem at all. Could you pay back the money? The Scotsman says, of course I can. And he pays back the £5,000, and the man said, but we need the interest as well. I said, oh, how much is the interest? £15.41. That's absolutely great. And the manager says, thank you, and hands him the keys back, and the car's parked outside by the flunky. The manager says, listen, just before you go, he said, you're obviously a very wealthy man, a property investor. He said, why did you need to borrow the £5,000 from us? And the Scotsman said, oh, I didn't need to borrow it at all. But where else in London can you park a Ferrari safely, knowing it will come back in the condition it was left for 2 weeks for £15.41? Absolutely. No borders here, thank you. So, I hope your week's been okay. Mine's been really quite exciting. So proud of David on Countryfile tonight. And of others, thank you again to all of you. You know you are, who've really helped me in my ministry, because taught me so much about so many different things. And that's what we do, isn't it? We talk about the experiences we've had. We share them. And we were like the Scotsman there, we profit from them very much as well and use them to our advantage. You'll hear more about David in my sermon next Sunday. And if you haven't been on our website, www.andrewskelso.co.uk/services, and heard this week's service, then I think you should. Would be a good idea. Anyhow, take care, my loves. God bless you. It's nice to be back. This is 99, and tomorrow will be BOBCAST number 100. Watch thou, dear Lord, with those who wake or watch or weep tonight, and give your angels charge over those who sleep. Tend your sick ones, Lord Christ. Rest your weary ones and bless your dying ones. Soothe your suffering ones. Pity your afflicted ones, and shield your joyous ones. All for your love's sake. Amen. So what do you get when you cross a cocker spaniel, a poodle, and a ghost? A cock-a-poodle-boo!